Hi, this is Ken Lau. Now in this video I'll share with you how to find the last 3 months average. So suppose it's July, then what is the average? Well, the average will be just type in the average function, and then because it's July we will take this last 3 value average and enter, you get 34. Now what if I say that it convert to May? Is this change? No, it doesn't, because it's not moving. So we want to move it here, move to here. But how do we move it? How do we shift it without manually changing it? As you can see, if you can observe here, it does change. Let's see, I change another one, say March. And look at this. This actually changed from March. It actually moved to here. And we get 48.323. But this one has not changed yet. So how do we solve that? Well, there are few steps. First is that you must understand what is the match function, and then the second step, you must understand what is the offset function, and then you combine all these three functions to get a dynamic average, and the solution is really just this. Okay, so I'm just copy it so you can learn that. So learn this function one by one, you will able to understand this well. I mean, yeah. Okay, these are called nested function, and you start with the match, understand match, and then followed by the offset. So the match function and the offset and the average. Okay, so that is how you solve with Excel um, functions. Now, what if you want to do it more automatic? So suppose that this list here will keep growing, and yeah, I mean you just want to discover new ways of using it, of calculating this. So I thought of maybe we can try it in the Powerquery as well. So this is just one of the suggestions, one of the ideas they can think of, that I can think of. So I go to data and I load it into a table. So what I do is that I first want to decide which column. Now the idea would be just like a match, but how do we determine which column has the value we want? Right? It may not be January, February, March, right? It could be just a label that you want. You just want the Power Query to help you to find out which is it. So make sure when you loaded this Power Query, it is not with the column label there. Okay, you can see that there's column 1, column 2. So now what I want to first do is do a transpose. So with the transpose, I can easily identify which row has the value that I want. And later on I can do a transpose again back there. But now I just want to transpose it. Okay, so I just close this tab. Is that do? Okay, yeah, that's the one. So next I go to add a column from 1. So now if I say that there is a May, let's say I know my current month is May, then it will be on the 5th column. So although now it's look at the 5th row. Okay, so let's just click this condition column, and we'll look at column 1 if it's equal to whatever the text value we want to look for, and here select a column for the index and click OK, and as you can see that this is the value that we want. Now I want to zoom in just to that particular row. Click OK, click here, number 4, and I will look for does not equals to now. Okay, we remove all those filter that does not equal to, we want to keep only the filter that does not equal to now. And that will give me this number here. So now I select this item, right click, just drill down, and that will give me a number. And this number is basically the column number. So that's why I just right click, rename it to be column number. And next, I want to get back to source step. So click on this add step, and I just type in source, enter. Okay, as you can see now that I have a table here, so I know that it's on the column number 5. Okay, so now how do I move from there? Okay, well, use first row as a header. Okay, next is that I want to grab, turn every record into a list. To do that, I add column, custom column, and over here I just type in to list, and there's a M language called record. So turning every record, every single row into a list. So click OK, and I got a list right here. See that? So since I know that it will be somewhere here 5, and I want to get this last 3 value, start from column 5. So I want to get something called first n. First 5 number. And how to do that? Well, double click on this here. There's a, since it's turned into a list, so I can just call the first n list dot first n functions, and substitute with this step here, column number. Okay, so that means I'm getting the first 5 number. Click OK, and you will see that this is really the first 5 number. Take a closer look here: 16, 95, 34, 93, 31. Right here, it stopped right here. So now we want to find another 3 value from here. From this list, we want to get the last 3 value. How do you find that? Well, double click here. We do the list dot last n, comma 3, and click OK. And what do we get? 34, 93, 31. That is exactly the value we want. Okay. Finally, we call the list dot average for these 3 numbers. Click OK. And we got 52. Oh, basically it's just the number here. Okay, so then we can click on this here, put the decimal number, and you can do some round up if you want to, right? Let's just click and close and load it to a new worksheet. Right there, 52 point something. If it's because current is May, so we'll just highlight these 3. It will give me 52 something. And with highlight this here, it give me 50 as the average. Okay. So that is how you can do extract a dynamic value. So it's very similar to this here. This is written in the Excel functions, and the other one will be solved into the Powerquery environment. So it depends on your needs. So in this video, you learn the 3 functions that combined together can extract the last 3 months average last 3 months or last quarter very easily. And you're also exposed to a more complex would be something that you want to master more and more in the near future, and that is to apply the Powerquery. And we actually use several M language the first. So we extract we want to identify which column number we want to, and finally we have this complex step here that you need to learn one by one. Okay, so as I show you much earlier, that is learnable. One is that you turn every record into a list by calling record.list, and since it turned into a list, you can use the first n to extract the first few numbers, and from the first few numbers you can reverse it by calling the last n. Finally, apply an average function. That's how you get the average, the Powerquery way. Thanks for watching. God bless you. God bless Asia. And I thank Jesus for giving me the ability to solve and share.